So, welcome everyone to our masterclass with Urkijo Alijo. And as we've seen in this director's show reel, his films are very different when it comes to the stories, but they all share something, and that's an amazing visual style and lovingly detailed set designs. And we're trying to explore how it came to that and how you came to be the director that you are today. Thank you for taking the time. So, how did you begin? What made you want to become a filmmaker, and when?
First, thank you very much for the festival, for you for coming. And the second, sorry if because my shitty English. Okay, I'm going to try do the best than I can. Well, I think it's I'm a fantasy lover since I was a child. I started listening the stories that my fathers tell me when we went to the mountain. I'm from Basque country, but Basque country is a very mountainy country, and we have very tough relation or short relation with the nature. And we all the Sundays go to the mountain or maybe to watch caves or I don't know, but we are a country of the mountains in some sense, and my fathers tell me a lot of tales about the mythology of the Basque country. We have our own language. Is a Basque, is a very old language, and there are a lot of stories that are related with the nature, with the creatures, with the monsters. And I grow up with that, and it's something that I love. And in the same way, the fantasy cinema, I remember when I was a child, I go to the videotheque or video club or and we read, for example, Jason and the Argonauts, the movies of Jim Henson, like Into the Labyrinth, the Dark Crystal, the movies of Indiana Jones, Legend, Conan the Barbarian. I grew up with these stories. Jim Henson, the Storyteller series, for me, it's something very. I don't know if you remember. Jim Henson makes a TV series with the stories of the Grimm brothers. He has a Grimm brothers, and he has another one about the Greek myths. Okay. And it was it's gorgeous. It's amazing. If you didn't watch, you have in YouTube. It's amazing. All the Muppets, the monsters, and then I started maybe when I was a child making draws of my own stories with the illustration, and I want to show you some illustration of when I was child. For example, ninjas, this kind of things. I started. I remember, for example, the Jason and the Argonauts, the skeletons, other monsters, animals, aliens, some environments. Well, my stories, comics. Wow. I go little by little making better illustrations to other things. Okay. And dinosaurs, of course, dinosaurs. And then okay, you can let this like that. Okay. If you can see, it's a mess, like in my head. Okay, and like my life. And then I love to draw, and tell stories. And the thing is, I study fine arts. My father didn't want to I study fine arts. He said, "Oh, you have to be an architect or an engineer or something like that, something technique." Mm-hmm. But I didn't want. I love computers, video games, digital drawings and Photoshop and this kind of things. But I never thought that I could be a cinema director. I never even think, because in my sphere, in my family, in my city, in my contacts, there are nothing about that. So it not it doesn't exist, you know, and even more fantastic. Now, even in Spain, you have some references like Alex de la Iglesia or something like that, but it doesn't. There is not too much references of fantasy. And then I finally studied fine arts, maybe for be drawer or comic drawer or something like that. And then I meet with my first camera with 18 years, and I start making short films with my friends. You know, we had a lesson or a class about cinema too. But we have paint, we have draw, we have different disciplines in fine arts, you know. But it was not in only cinema; it was to an art, video art, and this kind of things. So I'm going to show you what we started with this kind of sheets, making this kind of sheet.
El comunista loco tiene que estar por aquí. Creo que he visto algo rojo meterse por ahí dentro. Vamos, Jack, con cuidado.
This is me.
No podréis cogerme, malditos capitalistas.
¡Serpiente por aquí!
Tomad, cabrones. Probar mi nueva medicina.
¡Mira, Jack, cuidado! Jack.
Yo tengo a tu roto, amiguito. Si quieres volver a verlo, deberás ingresar 10.000 millones de dólares en mi cuenta bancaria secreta mundial.
¡Jack! ¡Suéltale! ¡Suéltale ahora mismo! ¡Suéltale, hijo de puta! ¡Maldito rojo cabrón! ¡Serpiente! ¡Dispárale! ¡Jack! ¡No lo puedo hacer! ¡Suéltale!
Ah, maldito capullo. Has preferido que le mate una bala capitalista a que le mate una bala comunista. No importa, yo lo resuelvo. Ya tienes amigo para el rato.
¡Asesino! ¡Jack, estás bien!
Tranquilo, amigo. Las balas de ahora no son tan duras como las de antes.
Tu amigo es una amenaza. Como tú. Ahora mi bomba hará explosión. Y todos los Burger Kings del mundo se convertirán en Anatoly Karpov Replacement. Ja, ja, ja. Prepárate para el fin rojo.
Well, we started making this kind of shit. I think it's very important making shit for learning. Okay. But I made other short films. I'm going to put another short film of 1 minute now. That it's I made an animation short film of a minute.
The nail?
Yeah, the nail. Okay. Well, I think it maybe we can.
Pretty pessimistic message.
Yeah. The thing, no, the thing was the regional the television of Basque country makes like an short competition.
Yeah.
Of 1 minute, and when as I like the computer graphics, and in this time I learned Maya. Maya is a program of animation in 3D. I made by myself, only in my home, in 1 month, this short film with a very simple concept, without dialogues, very simple things, no? And you can see here the storyboard, and I won the prize, and the prize was the money for do another short film. And then I made the lead fish that we are not going to watch here, but you have in internet. You won.
Yeah, that's the thing. His website is hisname.com, like Paul Urkijo Alijo in one word.com, and there's a link to his Vimeo page. So I think all the films that we're going to show you can find them there.
Yeah, but here you can watch
better
in good. Yeah, okay. Then, the thing is, I started 20 years ago making my first short films, and little by little, with more money, with less money, always trying to do fantasy and genre movies with monsters, but without money, always with friends, And now we are going to watch Jugando con la Muerte. Jugando con la Muerte is a short film. I'm going to show you a little. This is a storyboard. You can see the. I draw the storyboard of the short film. We are going to watch it, okay? And I used to make the different designs of the creature you are going to watch it. Yeah. The different for the prostheses we made. Well, this is a little spoiler, but anyway. I use always the illustration like a tool for convince to tell to the people, you can help me, or you can give me your money. No,
yes.
Always I use the illustration like a tool. So we're going to watch it.
Yes, and I think you will see that there are certain elements that we can still find in your films today already in this short film. And have fun. It's really a cool film, I think.
was my first professional short film. I think it's with some money, with a crew, with no. It was my first experience with a head departments, because after that one in Leadfish it was maybe the first one, but it was more with a Red One camera, with
And it's got the same director of photography that you still work with.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, from when is it? 2012 or when?
This is, yes,
Yeah.
12.
So how did you get to know your DOP?
Bueno, Gorka is Gorka Gómez Andreu. And in the beginning, bueno, as I think as always, all the people, or all the people, in my case, like always, all the people, sorry, you make everything. You use the camera, you edit your movies, you make the lighting, and then when I decide to be, I want to be a cinema director, no? After some shorts, I have to talk with some DP, and it was a friend of the brother of one of my best friends.
Okay.
So then, he's the DOP. Then we talk, and when he made my short films, they are starting to. It's not. I think he has like 3 years more than me. It's older than me.
Oh.
So it's weird. And then he made all my short films, but not the Black Forest, Bosque Negro. He can't because he couldn't because he was working out. But all my other short films and features are the DP, and I think we have very close sensibility. We work always with a very deep shadows. I think it's for me it's very important, the expressionism, the baroquism, the symmetry, this kind of the things, and Gorka it's very. It's like very with photography with a lot of contrast and working with natural light in a lot of cases. For example, in IRATI, we work everything with natural light, with sun and with fire, and he's amazing. He's a good friend, good drinker like me, and well, it's family.
I also find it interesting. You have the subject of cheating death in here, and you have that also in Elementary and even in GAUA, cheating the dark forces, and that's a recurring element which I find very interesting, because I mean, it's in a lot of old folk tales you have elements like that, but nowadays it's not a very common thing to have these scenes where people cheat death or cheat demons.
Yeah. I think in all my after the all see with the perspective all my works, I love monsters, and for me it's like always through the mask of the monster, through this horrific faces or fears, or there are something of us. There are maybe someone like us. No, if you can talk with them. There disappears all the prejudice, yes, yeah, and you can take a drink with that monster, and because that monster are you in some way, no, and in all my I think in all my movies, and you can find this, and in the mythology too. In the Basque mythology, and I think in the pagan mythology, as in a lot of countries, you can find where for example, in the Basque case, always are the Christians came and, for example, the monster of the woods, imagine, it's like an evil, and it's a pagan force of chaos, of nature, and Christian comes to put the order, the right things, and that. But sometimes is in the other side. It's like when comes Christianity, the creatures of the forest disappear. It's very painful for the nature. Now you have this duality in the Basque mythology, and for me it was like something in my education. You know, for example, when I saw Mononoke Hime, the Princess Mononoke of Miyazaki, I feel like this is like a Basque country's mythology. You know, it's that there are creatures of the nature that are fighting against the humanity and talking about this equilibrium. And IRATI, in some case, has this inspiration too.
And I mean, this is a subject that always can be found in your films, but the next films you made after these, they're a little different. They have a very different monster. No. Monsters do not exist. Before we watch it, this is an international film, and you made 3 international productions, I think, as short films. Monsters Do Not Exist, which was filmed in Cambodia.
Yeah.
And then Nara, which is filmed...
Nara, it was in Benin,
Benin,
in Africa.
And then a music video in India.
In India, yes.
How come? How did that happen?
Well, no, it was a great gift of the life. After Jugando con la Muerte, it was very successful in festivals. One organization, ONG, I think ONG is in English, social rights organization, that works in Cambodia, comes to contact with me because they saw my short film, and I want to share our problemati or the problem we fight with a fiction of a short, and then they give me a theme, and you can do what you want, and then I take the story and we can watch it, and after that we talk about.
So this is a very different film, and
it's my most different thing.
Yeah, and maybe the scariest one you've made in a way. So Monsters Do Not Exist.
Okay, this is a good feeling.
Yeah, I think it's really surprising because obviously in the beginning you think this will be about monsters. I mean, you see this Khmer monster figure, but then it turns out, real monsters are always much more scary than the fictional ones.
The thing we for this production, they pay to us the flight. We were 4 guys, 2 cameras, me. With sound and another guy of production, a friend, and it was we shoot in 1 week. The script I wrote without be there because and I think in a story that I could adapt to the places. No, it's like I wanna have a little child. And a guy, white guy, that it's based in a real character and situation that the ONG tell to us, and then we're going to adapt on and going to make a casting in 3 days, and we're going to and locations, and we're going to shoot in 4 days, and we say okay, the white guy I'm going to find there too because it's it's more cheap.
Yeah.
And the organization no. Where you have to come with an actor because if we take someone white there, it's probably is a pity. They say so. Okay, and it came and then they pay another ticket more, and we made by free, so the short film and with 5D cameras, Mark 5D, the Canon. It was in that time, And well, it's with this kind of visually more realistic, with like documentary, maybe sometimes between some elements, like someone is watching the child, no, this trying to show this sense, and of course with a monster, and the monster we shoot and made in Spain.
Oh.
So it was a very interesting and exciting experiment, and of course an amazing experience traveling there. I can show you a little concepts.
Let's see if we
For
need to-
example, okay. The storyboard, no, the monster, the child. Some changes too. Okay, here is the monster, the real monster. The story was made in the place with pencil. I usually the storyboard I made always all the movie with pencil. So in Errementari, DAR-DAR, o sea, IRATI, I can show you fast, but I love making in pencil because the way faster for me working, and it's too I don't know, it's very relaxing for me. No, we are always with the fucking computer and the mobile, and now with the AI and shit, and for me it's like a real thing. It's like I put the music and only paper and pencil.
So next you went to India and made a music video in Calcutta. How did that happen?
The last, this is the monsters designs. Okay, we have to go. The thing, they was the same company or the MG that they have a project in Calcutta about for teaching music to young people in a village. That you maybe know Héroes del Silencio, right? In Germany, it's very famous band. The guitar of Héroes del Silencio, Juan Valdivia, has a teacher, a music school between UNG in Calcutta.
Okay.
And then it was the same strategy. Maybe more cheaper, more little, because we went three guys. And it was like a music video for sell and looking for money for the teacher, something like that. And it was another very surprising experience. It was amazing. I'm very lucky for that.
Yeah, and I think 2 years later, 2015, you made 2 films. One is Bosque Negro, we're gonna watch next, but before that you went to Africa.
Yeah.
And how did that come?
But the same. I made the El Bosque Negro. The Bosque Negro was my first short film with public grants. So I obtained the first time help from the government, and it was a shoot in my 4 days, like a concept. Okay, I want to show I can do with a little money something that looks like a big fantasy sword and sorcery movie with some monster, what night in the forest, fightings and effects and these things. And we are going to watch it, and then I'm going to show you a concept and these kind of things. And the Benin this Nara was something very similar than the other, and the same. It was like for sensibilization of Africa in Europe.
Just quickly, the story is about a French guy, a video blogger, who's a typical Instagram influencer guy who goes to Benin and basically talks shit behind the backs about all these people, like their
topics.
Like they're not civilized enough, etc., etc. But then I had to guess because it doesn't have English subtitles in that film. So I don't know. He then gets haunted by an African spirit or something?
Yeah, it's he is an ignorant with and the short film is shot by the mobile. With the mobile, it's like a streaming guy saying to the people of venir Hakuna Matata and this kind of shits. Absolutely ignorant. And in one village, there are a storyteller and tells about one character or creature or god that is a spider of knowledge, and the spider is Nara. In other, for example, in Nigeria is Anansi. Anansi is more famous, maybe internationally, but it's the same. And his web is the knowledge of the world. And then appear the spiders and scare the guy, and well, it's short very like for education, something like that. It's very innocent or something like that. But there appears a 3D spider, like an African mask. And it was a little project, but it was amazing. Another amazing experience that gives me the short films and the cinema. But you have in internet if you want.
Yeah, it's even without subtitles. It's absolutely worth watching it, especially the spider creature at the end. It looks amazing, I think. So, but now Bosque Negro, the Black Forest. I think this is already, in a way, it feels very close to your first feature film, Elementari. And it's got a great monster design and great makeup effects, and a lot of humor. I sometimes felt a little reminded of Monty Python. We talked about that yesterday.
Of course.
The Holy Grail, in a way.
Of course, it's one of my favorite movies. And maybe to have, well, maybe no, it has to the Evil Dead, the 3D Army of Darkness,
Army of Darkness.
feeling, and Excalibur of John Borman. It's something mix of that. We can watch it, and then
let's
I'm
watch
going
it.
to show you the shits about that.
It's inspired by the Ogre's Castle. I don't know.
Nunca me hacen caso.
think there are two distinct elements that we can find in all your feature films in here. It's strong female figures. I mean, it's a surprising thing here, of course. In the beginning, we think typical knight saves the poor girl, but it turns out she's the real powerful one. And you have that in all your films, especially in GAUA, which we're going to watch later tonight. And also the arrogance of people in power. The people who think they know what to do and where to go, and they get treated badly for their arrogance. I think you have that in Elementary, with the priest especially. You have that in IRATI, with the Christian guys who want to rule the country, and you have that in GAUA, obviously. And yeah, so this thing for me has very many traits of what your feature films made. So yeah, you're gonna.
Yeah, I think it's you are right. It's I think it's one of the things that most hate of the humanity is the arrogant and the I don't know how I'm English shit, but the fascism. You know, what when someone with power oppress other one. For me, it's the most repugnant. This is wow.
The monster figures are these creatures from the Basque mythology?
The name, for example, this is Inguma, and this is guy's skin, but then the name was only for the name.
Okay.
And after that, Inguma, for example, is in GAUA, but in GAUA is the mythological creature. Here is only for the name. Okay. But well, the thing was like, okay, we're gonna do that. Monsters. A mask and with a pint, and the last monster, the ogre, it's an animatronic that doesn't work in shooting. We shoot in 4 days in a forest that it's very close to my city, where there are this kind of lake, something like that, and we had 3 skeletons, and we used all the skeleton and the all the shoots. Okay, put them, and well, with 2 cameras, it was very problematic. For example, the scene of the battle between the knight and the monster, because it was very sunny. We have problems for enter with a camera. The monster doesn't work. We spend a lot of time with that, and we shoot the battle in 4 hours. It was crazy, but you know, you learn a lot of things. Here, for example, you can see the storyboard. Some examples. Creature, you know, here.
Wow. So, when you made that film, were you already in pre-production for Elementary, or did that come afterwards?
What, sorry?
Elementary was released 2 years later, right? But were you already in pre-production when you shot this film, or?
I think I was already writing Elementary.
Okay.
Elementary was 8 years of looking for money, developing everything, and yes, I in the same time I made I think in some case I made El Bosque Negro to show I could make Elementary, because he has it's a fantasy production with creatures. And in Basque country, even in Spain, doesn't exist something like that. Maybe in the 70s with Armando Osorio, you know, this kind
of the Blind Dead.
Yeah, this kind of fantasy, B-series, fantaterror movies. But doesn't even, okay, you have El Día de la Bestia, Day of the Beast, but not more, you know. And then I think with the Black Forest, I showed to the producers and everything and everyone that I could make a movie like that. And bueno, I can show you because we have Elementary. After that, we have DAR-DAR.
Yes.
But I want to show you for Errementari, I made a book for sell how, what I wanted to do, okay? I love this kind of art, concept art books of Guillermo del Toro, Peter Jackson, and Lord of the Rings, you know, this kind. And I use my tool of illustration for show to the producer and the government what I could do. In the case of Errementari, before this, I'm going to show you the tale. Errementari is based in a tale inspired, it's a folk tale from Basque country, and this is the book that I had when I was young. Okay, it's
just quickly for those who haven't seen Errementari yet, we're gonna watch it on Sunday. It's The Blacksmith and the Devil is the English title and the German title.
Yeah, and the story is very simple. There are a blacksmith that the people say that it's very evil. Then the demons of the hell goes to talk with blacksmith and say, okay, your soul can be with me because you are very bad. And then the blacksmith always, when comes a demon, well, for example, he invites to eat, and he made like I don't know it's in English, but
trap.
Yeah, something like that. And then the first demon goes to the hell and tells to the other demons. And there are a second one, and there are a third one, and then when he dies, goes to the gates of hell, and the demons close the door, and then he goes to the heaven, and because of a woman is afraid of him, tells to Saint Peter to enter, and then he enters to in there. So it has no sense. But when I was child, it for me was very. I love this, like not how the demons are like. Oh, I like the demons, you know.
Yeah.
And then
poor creatures.
I thought that it could be a great movie, fantasy movie, gothic. I don't know, like Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow, something like that. But in those Basque tale. So I made this book physically, so that it doesn't sell. I only have one, but physically with a hardcover to show the like this is serious, no? And then I made this book with illustrations, talking about the story by my
previous films.
Yeah. Talking about the hell, references.
Wow, this is a lot of work.
Yeah,
in this book already.
Talking about, I'm going to show you some concept arts about the language too, because this is in 19th century. And okay, very like maybe the following actors. The locations, the atmosphere. I made some concept arts. You know, this is a real one. This is a with concept. Different concept more. The demons. There are other demons. The gates of hell. Okay, and some part of the storyboard. Okay.
Wow.
Wow. It's I made that, and even I'm going to show you, but you have not to close. Sorry, this is a this is a improvisation. Now fuck. Sorry, this is interesting. Yeah, we made a false teaser. It's very short. For show the atmosphere. They are not images of the movie.
Apaitzakaotan hainbeste erabiltzen daien toki ilun hori. Diabloak erraz eraten tubei arime bekatariak infernura. Ta ez do zuleize horretatik ies egiterik. Baina
Son bat. Infernuari farre egin ziana. Gizon ankerra. Deago izultzeko modukoa. Errementari bat.
And then with this and the book, I found the movie that you could see or can see in Sunday. Okay.
Yeah, and then Netflix bought it.
Yeah, well, the thing is, with this, I found the money for shooting the movie, but we hadn't the money for the post production. And then when we had all the plan, the money, we are developing the demons, and we have all the location, the actors, and then Alex de la Iglesia knows the project because of the guy who made the makeup. Is the same that makes the makeup of Alex de la Iglesia's movies. And then in a party they show look what I'm doing. And then Alex wrote to me and say, what are you doing? I want to produce that. And say, okay, but I'm going to shoot. And Alex said, stop everything, and we are going to looking for more money for make the blacksmithy that you want, and I said not, because I was spent like 7 years to 8 for shooting, and we decided to shoot. And Alex said, okay, you shoot what you want, and then show me, and we talk. Then I made an edition and show. Alex loved it, and he entered, and he speaks with Netflix, and then Netflix enter and put the money for the post-production. But it's not, and even appears like original of Netflix is not.
Yeah.
It's like, because Netflix it was landing in Spain, and in that moment, that's the politic of Netflix. It was made it, and it was
they were looking for local content too.
Yeah. So. And it was like that, but it was amazing. The name of Alex de la Iglesia because the movie was everywhere, and so it was amazing. And for me, it's my master. You know, for me, it's an absolute reference. And if you want, we can go to DAR-DAR maybe.
Yes, I mean the next film that you made, the next feature film that you made, IRATI, is probably the best known in Germany because it was released on Blu-ray by Splendid, and that's a full-blown fantasy adventure film that is one of the most expensive films that was ever made in Basque country. But in between,
it's
not the most, but
not
one of the most. One of the most.
But not it's real that it's the most successful in theaters in Basque.
Yeah.
But there are more expensive movies in Basque country.
Yeah, you need to tell that to IMDb because it still says.
Yeah, but it's not true. It has 4.5 million, and there are more expensive movies.
But it looks fucking expensive.
This is other thing, yeah.
Yeah, but in between you made another short film that's called DAR-DAR, and this is a very unique. Stylistically, it's a very unique film. DAR-DAR means give, right? Or
it's not rumble.
Rumble, okay.
Dar in Spanish is give,
yeah.
But in Basque is dar. It's when you have a fear, you do dar.
Tremble.
Yeah, tremble.
Okay. Yeah, let's watch it. That's it's really unique. In parts, it's like a silent film, but only in parts. Never seen something like that actually. So. little girl. Poor little girl. Is that also based on a folktale or?
Yeah, it's based in the beginning of folktale of Basque country, but the story is about two brothers that it happens the same, but they kill the demon with a shotgun that gives God to a brother for kill the demon, and after that, the brother goes for the land, and finally he married with the princess, and this kind of very grim story. But for me, the first part about the demon that eat the fingers of the little boy, it was like something very, very scary.
Yep.
And I want to make a nightmare with this, no? And I met a very expressionist, trying to do like this kind of movies of the beginning of the 20th century, and it was an experiment, but very, very personal too. So for me, it's like physically in the texture, and even the character of the little girl. I think you can feel this, find in Errementari's little girl too, and there are some elements.
It's definitely the most scary horror film you've made, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think it's maybe we have to go
to the okay. So yeah, after that, IRATI, you were probably already in pre-production when you shot this, or?
Yeah. It was in the middle because I want to shoot something, and well, I had this idea in the head, and I could make it. And after that, of course, we made IRATI. IRATI was 5 years developing. And as you said, these are like swords and sorcery, mythological, middle-aged Basque fantasy movie. And
if you haven't seen it, we're going to show it tomorrow, and we talk a little in the Q&A about IRATI.
I can show you very, very fast if you want some, because I think it's not gonna show in the tomorrow. So I'm going to show you very, very fast material of art. For example, sorry. Well, for IRATI, I made the same thing like in Errementari. I made a book with concept arts of the creatures, the castles, this kind of images. This is the Roncesvalles battle, the goddess Mari, different moments. Well, this, for example, is GAUA, Gaueco, sorry, that in the beginning is going to appear in IRATI, and it's a concept about that. But in the last time, at least I think, finally, we didn't put into the movie.
Didn't use it, yeah.
That.
Cyclops.
Mari, the goddess. This is the biggest goddess of the character of the Basque mythology, or most highest deity.
Mother Earth.
Mother Earth, yeah. Well, this is IRATI, and for
GAUA.
And then
which had its world premiere last year in Sitges, and was nominated for 3 Goyas. I think all your films have been nominated for Goyas.
Errementari was nominated, with more
special effects.
Special effects. Then IRATI was to special effects, dress, song. The best score, the best original song, and makeup. And with to GAUA, to best effects, best dress, and best makeup.
Okay.
And very, very fast, I'm going to show you some concepts. There appeared 3 women in a laundry. There are a women called Kachalin. There's about This is Inguma. It's a creature of the night. This is other version of Inguma, very earlier. Gaueko, the god of night. This is Gaueko. There are a story with Herbie. It's Herbie.
Rabbit.
Rabbit, but it's rabbit, but no, I don't know what's.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I don't know the English word for it.
Okay.
Hair.
Hair.
Yeah.
This is the Basque. Well, in the beginning of the movie, we find this kind of buildings.
Catalin.
And the black goat, Akkerbelt, in Basque.
You can really expect a visual feast with that film. I think most of you haven't seen it yet, and it's one of the most impressive witches films of the last 30, 40 years, I'd say, and it's really visually totally impressive. So
yeah, it's based. Oh, thank you very much. It's based in a folk tales related with witchery in the Basque country that it's very important for our country. So it was important project for me too.
And it's also very anti-Christian, which I like a lot. So, yeah, I think that's that. But one more thing, you're not only making movies, you also make music. You're the lead singer for a Basque hard rock heavy metal band.
Yeah, we make shit, we make noise, and we do. We started in the COVID because one friend of mine, David, plays guitar with other friend. Asher plays the drums, and they know I want to scream.
Yeah, scream.
Well, then they said to me, "Oh, we can do that," and we made. We have already two albums, but we didn't never play live.
Okay.
But in May we are going to play, and I just do the cartel other day in the hotel with pen, and this is the cartel of we're going to play in a bar in my city.
We're going to listen to one song now, but wait, before we do that, any questions?
So I had one question. So I just want to know, like, before your feature, you made your first feature film. Your journey was you were making short films and then you transitioned into feature. Was that the thing, or you worked on another feature before with someone else? So I'll tell you where I'm coming from. So in my country, or let's say I would say my city specifically, there's a very weird culture that they believe to make your feature you have to work under a director.
Yeah.
You know? They don't believe in the concept of short films, which I have personally feel because I've been a very bad assistant director, and that's why my question was, when you made your first feature, did you work under another director, or you were like from short films you transitioned into your feature?
Yeah, I only worked once, like video assist, and I say, what the fucking is this fucking hell? I gonna do only my stories. And after that, I was 20 years working, making all what you see and more. Being very, very heartache.
Yeah.
Okay. And really, I made music videos, I make other things, and I work with some friends. But I think that way is the traditional way. In Spain, you do too, but it's very hard to enter in that industry because I have not in my
CV?
around in the city. I have not money for study cinema because it's very expensive, and if you want to start entering in the industry, you have to study cinema. I study fine arts, and then I make by myself little by little. With a lot of critique, a lot of people saying, "What this shit that doing this guy? This is genre. We did not need this in our country. We need art, not this kind of shit." I had a lot of critics about that, but I be very, very straight. I have very, very straight. Is it or recto?
Yeah, strident.
Straight, no, or bueno, head. Head, or
Hard-headed,
yeah.
hard dickköpfig. Stubborn.
Yeah, and it was my way. But usually the people, can study cinema maybe, but if I think you see an improving in the short films. I can see, and I am learning film by film I am doing, and it's my way, and this is the truth.
Any other questions?
Yeah, well, I haven't seen your feature films yet, so maybe this only applies to the short films, but I noticed, well, all of the stories are really about doomed characters who can't escape their fate. There's really no way for them to change their story. And I was wondering how you feel about that idea of fate, or about, characters who are fated in a way in a horror story.
Yes, but it's very philosophical way of what I think it's the world where we are. There has a lot of violence and that oppress to us, and this is this is the hell for me. And we have to be different, be freaks, be combative for those oppressions, I think. And I feel that we cannot escape for this oppression because there are a structure, really a structure. But you can you can meet with other freaks. And together we can live and say to them, fuck you, we have our place, we can live as we want.
Especially in
Something
GAUA.
like that.
In GAUA,
Yeah.
I think that's the most, the takeaway of that film.
Yeah.
Just not-
So this is, I don't know. The one.
Okay.
No sé.
Then, thank you again for taking time. Thank you all for being here, and listen to some rock.
Yeah, and sorry for that.
Yeah, second album came out this year in January, right?
Yeah. The first one was in COVID, and we do another shit.
Slow
Ortak means teeth in Basque, and the song is the Sons of Saturn.
Okay.
And tells all we are sons of Saturn, he's gonna eat us.
Cool.
Always. And always we are gonna be slaughtered. Of him, because we are going to death.
Nice. I think the record is called I Don't Want to Be Happy. Something.
Yeah, so, no, it's very, for stress, it's very good.
Yeah, he drew that figure, by the way. I asked him. It's beautiful. Thank you.
No, thank you to you for being there.
Dude, so rad, man. That was so good.
Good feeling.
Yeah, man. Definitely a feeling. Yeah. I need a lot of Robert Eggers.
Yeah, that's a feeling.